You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
All right, it's Scott McKenzie with Industrial Talk Podcast. So glad that you are here. You industrial juggernaut. You know, we're building that industrial leader, and I think we're on round 15 of this prize fight. And we just keep going and going. I think we've got 20 points that we want to be able to cover. So I'm so glad that you are available for this. And it is quick, 5 minutes, nothing more, maybe 6 minutes, depends if I rattle on. So thank you once again for joining. Let's get this going. All right, leaders, we got this thing going. Hey, you know what? So I hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. And I have to point this out, and I won't take too much of your time. You know what? You know what's an industrial approved food? It's a tomahawk ribeye. If you've never seen one of those, oh my gosh. You know what I had to do? So I get this big old tomahawk ribeye out there, right? And it's got this big piece of rib off of it. And if you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry, but this is just absolutely incredible. So I get out there, I've got my grill just blazing away, and realized I couldn't get it on the grill because of that rib. So I pulled out the heavy equipment, my Sawzall. So I had my son and myself just cut off that rib with a Sawzall. Now that's industrial approved. So nonetheless, anyway, go out and get one if you could find one, because, boy, they're sure delicious. So here we go. We're building an industrial leader. Let's get right on to the point. And so, you know, the last one I did was about humor, right? We got to have that sense of humor. So now we're going to go into something a little bit more serious, and we're going to be talking about the ability to take constructive criticism. That's taking constructive criticism. It's tough, and I'll be the first to admit that. It's tough. But the bottom line is we've got to be humble. As leaders, we've got to be humble and be able to take that constructive criticism because we want to be able to do it right, and we want to be able to achieve success. And to do that, we don't have all the answers, as we've talked about. So I got a couple of memes, because apparently humility is a meme magnet. So you can find stuff about memes out there all day long about humility, which makes sense. I do not doubt the accuracy of those memes. So the first one comes from Ezra Benson, and that pride is concerned with who is right. That makes sense, right? Humility is concerned with what is right. We need to be about what is right, and as opposed to who is right. I'm married, and there have been plenty of times when I want to be right. But we have to recognize the fact that if we're truly humble leaders, and we possess all of the skills that we have been talking about over the past couple of weeks, then humility is right at the center of that, right? And so humility is concerned with what is right. The next one is, the humble person makes room for progress. The proud person believes they are already there. I'm telling you right now, in this world today, when we start looking at all of the digital platforms that are out there, the AI, the Internet of Things, all of the technology out there, you better have room for progress, because I'll tell you right now, digital platforms will expose you. Either you're humble about it and you want to progress and leverage as much as you possibly can the world that we're going into, or you're just going to be stuck in a time warp, shall we say, because, well, that's where we're at. So once again, we need to be able to take constructive criticism. So it's simple. Do it. We have to have that humble heart and recognize that. I'm not saying that it can happen overnight, because I got to tell you, we've gotten here over many, many years of our pride, our obstinance sometimes. So please, let's just be a little bit aware that it's all about humility and being able to take constructive criticism, because we want to make sure we are concerned with what is right. So let's summarize where we're at, because I'm watching the time, because I know that you're you need to get going. So sense of humor. Got to have that sense of humor. Let's laugh and smile. We got ability to lead teams. Think of Winston Churchill and being thrusted into that World War II situation. Pretty big deal, I got to tell you. True desire to shoulder the burden. Be the hero, and shoulder that burden. You can do it. You're strong enough. You can do that. Ability to be strong, clear in times of trouble. They're looking for leadership, right? Be strong, be clear, definitely. So, and then we're going to talk a little bit about, or we have talked about, a steadfast, oh God, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Steadfast dedication to those depending on you. It's never been about you. It's always about the other, always. If you're a humble leader, it's always about the other. Going that extra step. Courage to ask for assistance and guidance. Of course, assistance and guidance. You don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but doggone it, we sure try. Self-discipline and patience, right? One more day, you get back up. One more day. I can't reiterate that enough. Confidence in your own ability because you're learning, you're growing, you're doing all that stuff. It's all good. Resistance to criticism, absolutely. You got to have that thick skin. Genuine interest in the well-being of other people. Turn that pyramid upside down. You're a servant. You're a server to those individuals who want to better themselves. That's a true leader. Purpose. Once again, you have that noble purpose, that thing that drives you to the point where you can get back up. Whenever you fall down, skin your knees, you get back up because that purpose is far more important. You're positive, you got a positive outlook, and then finally, of course, you got correct thinking. You do not let the shadows of the past dictate your future. So that's where we stand. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow because, well, I got some more points to cover. And thank you very much for joining the Industrial Talk Podcast and the Dojo right here. If you're looking at it on the video, we're all about education. So thank you very much. And as always, be safe.